this before, he's been preparing for this battle for thousands of years. And the only thing that he has left to accomplish is how is he going to get from here to the dimension. These are not different planets and stuff. It's a dimension. It's right next to it. Like everything, this is a dimension. Okay? Although it's not, it's going to pass away. But all the spiritual world, there's different dimensions. And the dimension that he needs to get to, that he can't get to anymore because he was banned because he's shady and trying to overthrow his creator, is heaven. And he don't understand. He goes, wait a minute. Humans can get there. How come they can get there? They can get there. They get there when they pass away. There's got to be something about them and everything has to do with DNA. Like I told you, everything, anything and everything has to do with the blood. It's all about the blood. Think about it. Jesus Christ, the blood, the blood, the blood. The blood, everything's about the blood. The Passover, they had to put the blood on the doorposts. It's all, everything. If you read anything in the Bible, it all has to do with the blood. Any kind of situation, sacrifices, the giving sacrifices to the Lord Father and stuff was all about blood sacrifices, animals and purity and all that. Satan knows that there's something in our blood. Especially, the thing is, it switches over. If you're not a born again Christian, you're not filled with the Holy Spirit, it's not there. But the minute you sincerely give your life to Jesus Christ, Yeshua, that it is a transformation. There's a transformation, a spiritual transformation, and it occurs in your DNA, and that's what they're going for. Every time they don't understand that salvation. They don't understand that transformation. They don't understand. So they're just, when they abduct people, they've been taking the blood and doing tests and all this crazy stuff they're doing. They're trying to find that. What's that missing? It's like the missing link, in the blood that they're trying to replicate. That's why they're making hybrids and they're making people that, they're mixing their DNA with human DNA. And you hear about these stories, all these creatures like Bigfoot and Loch Ness, all these creatures they called cryptids. Those were all created, them messing around, trying to recreate the whatever they feel that they're missing. But here's the thing, they don't know what it is yet. They'll know it if they find it or when they find it, but I don't know if they will find it because it has to do with such a spiritual power they don't understand. Like Satan had no idea God is going to sacrifice his son to save humanity. That was the last thing he thought of. He's very intelligent, but he did not, that was the one thing that he did not consider. That the Lord, Yahuwah would go, that's it. I'm gonna have to do something really drastic here. I'm gonna have to basically sacrifice myself. That's basically what he did, because Jesus is, he's God and reincarnated into a human to come down here and save us. He literally had to say, I can't rely on this, that, and the other, because every time I try to do something the other way, it fails. Something happens, like the flood and all the stuff. Every time he does, Satan gets to the person or somehow gets to them and corrupts them, and it destroys the whole process. And Yahuwah said, you know what? I have to do it myself. And that's true about everything. If you really want something done right, you really pretty much got to do it yourself. And that's what he said. I'm going to have to do this myself. I'm going to have to literally sacrifice myself to save my children. He did not expect that. Satan did not expect that. It was the last thing. Had he knew what was going to happen, he would not have sacrificed. He would not have let that happen. Because that just threw a wrench in his plan. Completely threw a wrench in his plan. And now here he is doing, abducting, he's trying to find out how are we able to bypass getting sent to him? Because before Jesus Christ, there was only a handful of people, if that got taken into heaven without having to, they didn't have salvation. it was Yahuwah's choice of whether or not you were good enough. You were like Elisha and Enoch, and I think both Elishas, if I remember correctly. People had to go, they got put into, when Yeshua went into 3 days into the earth, he said, I'll be in the earth 3 days. He was down in there. That's where Satan is. That's his realm. He had to go down into Satan's home and take out the people, all the people that were decent, that were God-fearing people, but they didn't have the salvation. They didn't have the blood of Christ protecting them. Because when you give your life to Jesus Christ, it's his blood, his shedding of his blood that saves us. The fact that he sacrificed himself. So when it comes down, everything's about the blood. The DNA, and the blood, when you get down to the microscopic level, is DNA. So that's what they're coming after when they're going and taking people's blood. They're looking for something. And what they're looking for, our Father gave us, that transforms us into the, that says it translates us in from the earthly realm into the heaven. We become grafted into the vine. We become grafted into the bloodline of Jesus Christ, Yahuwah and Yeshua, the bloodline of Yeshua. That's what he's looking for. And I'm not sure if he's going to find it, because I don't know what that is. It's something that only our Father knows. Only our Father completely understands the transformation happens in our DNA. But they're looking for it. They're looking for it hard. If you think about all the donation centers, the blood donation centers, and give blood, and they're putting it under God's will. We need blood because I know of medical things that will cause you they can produce blood. They can make your blood reproduce, and your bone marrow and everything and all that stuff. How you can, when you go and give blood, donation centers and stuff, they're testing your blood. They're taking that information and doing something with it. It's the same thing with the military when they keep your DNA, and all the other places that do that when they take your blood. Blood has to do with everything. If you think about it, you go to the doctors, they need your blood. You go here, they need your blood. They need your blood. It's all in the blood. So that's what they're looking for. They're looking for something so they can replicate it, splice it into do the CRISPR thing, do some little fandangle crap and stick it into their DNA and they're trying to make their way back to heaven. So heaven is an actual place. It's not just some weird fantasy thing. All the stories and stuff. This is an actual storyline. The storyline is very, very detailed and makes sense, and it has to do with science. It's involving science and supernatural, and we've just been made to believe all this time that that our boring, lame reality is reality. No, there's so much. It's wild.